I think you have covered the chosen topics extremely well. We talked about the artificial intelligence, its different stages. I have only one question. That's just like other technologies, uh, these have hardly any impact on the global south. Okay. And one of the things is that with the application of technology, most of things, especially in health area, become more expensive, more diagnostics, more analysis. Uh, and secondly, what worries me is the projections that 10 years down the line or so, artificial intelligence would have matured and it will take away 300 million jobs. Now, when I do my rough calculations, those 300 million jobs, most of them are going to be taken away in Asia and Africa. If it is so, like other technologies, one has to ask the question, what is the problem? What are the pain points which we're trying to solve? Now, this is not to say that a technology should not be developed, that scientists should not work on it, and we should not have the capability. I normally take the analogy of robotics also, that we have the largest set of robotic engineers in India. They work throughout the world. But the applications are very few. Main applications are in the automobile industry and the nuclear industry or very hazardous industry where rather than humans, the robots will do the job. But not in terms of variety of other applications which have now developed in China. So if I may take 1 or 2 more minutes, one can say that it is the stage of development that robotics will be related to it, or therefore artificial intelligence, its applications. But China is not at the same stage of economic development as the West is. But then one can say that it depends on the stage of manufacturing development. To which one will ask that a very fast developing economy country like Vietnam, what is the application of technology in that? Because it's a very good test case, very good use case. It is part of the Asia. It is going at a very fast speed on the manufacturing line. And some other things, it is the largest now, which India is not. India is good in IT-enabled services. But in IT-enabled services also, is it likely that with the AI development, the number of humans required may be less? So that is the worry I have personally, and to which I ask a professional question. If there are no pain points which it is solving, right, then what is it that we're doing? Because the revenue is going to go mainly, in fact, I would say mainly US or US companies, right? Not even European. Now they say that last 20, 30 years phenomena, if we see, that the manufacturing and quote-unquote high-tech of that area were distributed among USA and Europe. And as far as manufacturing was concerned, electronics was concerned, it went in Japan route and then Korea route and Japan, China, other places. But it seems AI will be monopoly of American companies or its use. What do you think about it?
Well, you raised a very good questions. You raised multiple questions. Now, here are the short answers to this. Number one, any development of technology we are doing is a global issue, is a global challenge. That's why we need to have an active collaboration among various countries, various groups of professionals and practitioners to make progress. Number two is, yes, we are making progress in robotics and other areas through artificial intelligence. But it's not necessarily that we are taking a job away. What is happening, we are transforming jobs from one role into another. So instead of human being making manual jobs, now we are creating robots through human intelligence.
Yeah.
That will help us to make our lifestyle much better, and the role of the jobs that human is doing is now changing from one role, the manual role, into automatic role. So in terms of benefit, it takes time, but in terms of benefits, we will be significantly ahead in a much better and smarter society in the future than what we have today, provided we can keep up with the advances of technology from now to the future.
Sir, it's very, very nice you have put it, but still I might pursue slightly. When I was younger, and I've been in the academia for more than 50 years now, I was also very enthusiastic about it. I am myself an electronics engineer also, very enthusiastic. In fact, I wrote a paper on the impact of tractorization. And in Punjab, we found that the jobs had increased because the logistics jobs had increased, because warehouse jobs had increased, because of the productivity, etc. So, on-farm employment may have reduced, but associated activities employment. But however, when I think about robots, and by extension, let's say artificial intelligence, the products coming out of it, is that that technology, because of the phenomena of electronics and internet and so on, is becoming concentrated, right? And we do talk about the ITES industry being very large in India, right? But there's hardly any software development which you can say indigenous. They work for others, right? In other words, they work at the lower end of the value chain. And similar things are likely to happen in robotics. By the way, we are starting a robotics course here with a company which designs and makes robots, and they have an outfit in US. But the same thing comes when you discuss with them, where do you sell them? We export them. we can't sell them in India.
Sure.
Right, that is the problem. Now, I took the issue of the employment. Yes, the jobs will be created in designing and making robots, right? But they are jobs of a different kind of skill set, right? The lower skill set people are left, basically. And such problems are very serious and severe in our cases. Numbers are very large, So, while China, Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam to some extent now, were able to absorb larger number in assembly, manufacturing and so on, large numbers are involved. Such activities like robotics and AI will not involve large number of people doing that. Only skill sets will be very high. They can be developed. As I said, largest number of robotics engineers are here in India, but they work outside. There is nothing for them to work in India. So how do we balance it? Because like fashions, these are technologies also fashion to some extent. Now everybody talks about AI and anything and everything, with understanding, without understanding, thinking automatically if it is use of AI, therefore automatically it is better, which it is not. But the policies get made like that. So that is what worries me, that do the policy makers think about it? Because what is appropriate in US and Europe to follow US, and Korea and China and Vietnam now to be able to manufacture those things. Largest number of robots they make, I think Chinese. But countries like India, Africa, so we're talking about 2 billion people, maybe 1 billion working population together. This is a problem.
Yes, we always have, when we get something, we give up something.
Yeah.
So that is a give and take policy. But it also depends on support from the society, support from the academics, support from the industry, support from the government to make policy. The low-end people that we are talking about can be retrained so they can make a valuable contribution like they used to do. So we need to somehow balance, and question is that strategy we have to come up with an intelligent way to balance the things so that everyone can make contribution based on their training, based on their aptitudes, based on their knowledge. So we in academics are responsible to provide adequate training to everyone. The policymakers have to come up with a policy to help the people in the country, and industries also should come up with the devices that are affordable by most people in a particular country. So these are not something that we can solve overnight,
Right.
but we have to keep on
Change.
addressing this
Yeah.
so that we have to change and we have to solve in some days in the future so that everyone in the society gets benefit from these technological developments and advances.
Right. And why should we not try to work hard enough to be with the technology? You know, why should we think the technology only will
That is
come
correct.
from outside?
That is correct.
Right? We should, and now at least there is confidence that either manufacturing or software and so on, we have the capability sets. You know, whether they use that those places or in any case even internally. And so it's for us to energize those. You know, like we have done in digitization and so on.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for the
Pleasure.
invitation. It was a pleasure to be here.
Right. Thank you, sir.